Last week, I came off my bike only 200 meters from my house. And here's why I'm sitting here talking to you instead of being in a hospital. So let me give you the brief story of what happened and how I came off my bike. So I was going on a group ride that day with two of my friends. They were meeting me at my house here. It was a cold morning, a foggy morning, but due to be a nice day. So we're coming to winter here in New Zealand, and down south where I live, it can get particularly cold in the mornings. So they arrived at my house. I get my bike out of the garage and start it up, do the usual thing, do my checks, and I leave at the rear of the group after them. We get just a little further down the road, so he's still in my block, my neighborhood, only 200 meters from where I live. They had turned a right-hand corner, and this is a corner I've done hundreds and hundreds of times, not only on my bike, but in a car as well. So, and these are narrow roads in our subdivision, so you're not going fast speeds at all. So definitely not going quick, just any old morning. Went to go take the right hand turn, and then before I even knew it, the front washes away from under me. So I just go to turn right, the front washes out. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground and the bike's sliding, and I'm sliding not far, albeit, but enough to give me a little bit of a shock and realize, okay, I've just gone down. My first reaction, as with most people, is, okay, am I hurt? No, I wasn't hurt at all. And I picked up the bike right away, took it off the road onto the footpath. And I was questioning in my mind at this point in time. My friends heard me over the intercom, and they came back and just checked if I was all right. I was all sweet. They weren't that far in front of me. And I was like, how did this happen? They just went through the corner fine. And then, however, I go to turn the corner and the front washes away. What happened? So one of my friends, we went to just a little bit, well, we scouted around that corner and actually found there was some loose kind of sand grit. It was a colder, foggier morning as well. A little bit of ice. I reckon there was a tiny bit of kind of ice there, but more so just grit. And there was actually someone doing a new build, and they were water blasting the driveway, which was actually blasting all that kind of sand, grit, and dirt onto the road and the specific line that I took to take that corner. So we concluded that I went over that at a slightly different line to take that corner than they did. Once again, not even picking lines at this point because it's quite narrow streets, and I was just kind of in the center of the road as I normally am to take the corner, but just happened to be that I was slightly different line to what they were. Caught the front end out and down I went. Now, thankfully, I have frame sliders on my FZ1, so that took the brunt of it, shaved that off. But unfortunately, it did break the brake pedal off my rear set, the newer rear sets I've got on my FZ1, unfortunately. But I have replaced now the factory ones back on. My gear did save me and just suffered a couple of small rips in my gloves and my right trousers, but ultimately the gear did the brunt of the saving, saved me from getting any kind of road rash. I wasn't going any high speeds at all, but it could have been worse had I not been wearing my gear. I've had 4 previous crashes, including this one on the road in my riding history. I've been riding now for 9 years. The first one was when I was very early on in my first year of motorcycling. I was pushing my motorcycle too hard, and albeit it was just rider skill, I wasn't skilled enough for what I was trying to do, and took the corner incorrectly, slid out, low-sided, and wrote off my, I believe it was my FZ6R at the time. So that's my first experience of being down actually on the road. However, I was wearing full gear, and that did save me. I did have to buy a new set of gear afterwards though, so you can imagine the severity of all my ripped jacket and trousers and gloves as well. Next one was I was taking back, or I was going on a ride with my friend on a GXS 750. It's taking corner a little bit too quick once again. Still a little bit more experienced now, but still considered early in my riding career. And I just went down on the road. Luckily, no other traffic. And I picked the bike back up. Handlebars or the forks are slightly bent, but still rideable. And I continued on the trip. third one was when I actually brought a brand new Yamaha R3, the MotoGP edition. I think it's the Monster edition, that's the one. And new tyres. And I was only about 6 kilometers from my home at the time. Went round a roundabout, leaned a little bit too much, slippery tyres, brand new. Motorcycle slid from under me, kept sliding, missed a car in front of it, thankfully, and it didn't have too much damage, just a couple of scrapes on the engine casing and the little part of the fairing that juts out, almost like a frame slider, but it's not. But that did protect the bike. Thankfully, I was okay. So all those, I was okay. Always wearing full gear as well. And now that brings me to my fourth crash on the road. That was just this recent one at my slowest speed and also the closest to home. Now, I do have one more, and that was on the racetrack as well, where I was also wearing full gear. It did split my glove open where my pinky finger was, and I did have to get that mended too as well. So gear has saved me every single time. Every single time I've been down, I've had full set of gear on. Now, coming from a risk management angle from a pilot, or from my aviation point of view and perspective, is that aviation is all about managing risks, and I apply that to my motorcycling as well. So one way I can manage risk is always wearing my gear. Like I mentioned earlier, no matter where I'm going, I've got gear on. No matter how hot it is, I've got all my gear on. And it's examples like these which I just provided and what has saved me from getting hurt any further. It's also about being proactive as well. In aviation, we always have to be proactive and not reactive. And that's something that's important for motorcycling. Always be proactive and don't be reactive. Think ahead and think what you can do to protect yourself and keep yourself safe and keep yourself riding another day. And obviously with all of that, safety comes first. So safety should be number one. If you keep yourself safe, you're going to keep others around you safe as well. It's a knock-on effect. But you want to be doing this for the long run. So don't be too hasty in getting out there with no gear just because you're going for a short ride or it's too hot. You never actually know when that gear is going to save you. And one big thing when we're flying is that we want to fly another day. So we don't go out if the weather's really bad. We don't push limits. And we won't land if we're not stable on an approach. And so we can perform a go around, which you may have heard before if you follow aviation. And it's the same with motorcycling. You want to ride another day as well. So don't push it. In general, you want to explore the edges of your comfort zone, but never push past your limits. Ride within your limits. And that also goes to being safe. Ride with your gear on, especially when you're exploring those outer edges of your comfort zone as well. Okay, so just a super brief overview on what I was wearing when I did come down just 200 meters from my house. So that day I had full set of gear as normal. What protected me was my heated gloves. So cold morning, I had my heated gloves on. They suffered a bit of a rip. Nothing too bad, still usable though. And my trousers, which suffered a rip on the right-hand side. Once again, still usable, just slightly torn, just a little hole and a gap in there. So nothing major. This crash wasn't bad, but it just goes to remind myself of when it can happen and how close to home this can happen as well. So all my gear was, except my gloves and my helmet, RST. So I still have my motorcycle shoes on as well. And I got my Scorpion helmet on too. So luckily nothing else was damaged in that. Just mainly the bike frame slider saved most of it, and just the brake pedal and the rear set was bent on the right hand side. So here's just a quick clip of just straight after the crash. I took a quick recording just showing some of the damage on the motorcycle. There's a couple of scuffs here and there, nothing major, but have a quick watch. Okay, so just came off the bike, hit some grit and sand. It has been a colder morning as well, so it kind of felt quite slippery, maybe a little bit of ice, but as you can see here, frame slider took the brunt of it. Nowhere else is damaged. Just a little bit of scuffing up on the bar end. Very, very minor here, so it's all good. Indicator, all sweet. A little bit of scratching down there, but that's fine. Biggest damage has come to the rear set, so brake lever has snapped off. You can see here that's ground down as well, and it's quite bent. You can see it's bent this way. So I've just kind of started taking it apart, and a little bit of scuffing down there. So be careful on the roads. And this was literally 200 meters from the house. Okay, thanks for watching to the end of this video. This is just a wee reminder in my own experience of what can happen on the unexpected, is just to always wear your gear no matter where you're going or what you're doing on the motorcycle. You never know when that gear is actually going to help save you. So wear your gear, or wear all the gear all the time. And hopefully you just got a little bit of nugget from my reminder and what happened to me to make sure it motivates you to wear all of your gear. So let me know in the comments below if you've ever been down and wearing gear has made the difference, or if you've been in a situation where you haven't been wearing gear or all of your gear and you wish you had been. So let me know in the comments below. Okay, make sure to check out this next video on my channel. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you all on the next one. Catch you later.